Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. It's all the S's tonight. Stewart, Shaka, Stevie and Sheila.
Sheila.
All right, first question. Sheila, mate. How great is it to surely know that an Italian team not called Juventus or a Portuguese team will definitely be in the final ahead of your usual Spanish and English dominance in recent years? Stewart.
It's great that Italian sides are doing well, because the national game obviously took a bit of a hit when they didn't get through to the World Cup, which is the second World Cup running. But yeah, I'm pleased for the Italian sides, particularly Napoli. I think they've been excellent this season. Inter have had a struggle at times, so have AC Milan. But Napoli are a very good side, and I think they've got every chance of getting into the final.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. For Shaka, what's one thing that never fails to make you laugh?
I laugh a lot. That could be any number of things. Steve Nicol, yes, you're absolutely right, Sheila. Steve Nicol.
It's the way you stand. You also answer.
Do you know if you're a comedian and you need your confidence building, he's your man. I don't think I've ever heard him not laugh at somebody's joke.
Well, he always laughs at you, Stevie, it's fair to say. Well, with you,
Yes.
not at
Beg
you.
your pardon?
And at him, both.
Say that again.
I thought he was going to answer you straight away there.
Shaka, why do you laugh at me? What are you laughing at?
Right. I'm just enjoying the evening, Stephen.
Something I don't know.
What do you think, Shaka?
I'm easily amused, okay? I'm not sure where we start with that.
Always great to have Shaka on the panel, because you're right. He'll always laugh at what you say and you feel great. Is it genuine, Shaka?
Remember, I saw the other side of him. I saw the other side of him when he was a West Ham player, and his kids went to the same school as my kids. He was a different sort of animal then. Miserable, flash. Arm out the side of the car.
Stuart,
I mean,
everybody knows a lion. Everybody knows a lion. Everybody does.
Giving it all that.
You were a poser. Shaka, admit, you were a poser, Shaka.
McGregor on the way to the school with the kids.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor. Shaka McGregor.
What was his number plate, Stewart?
Shaka 1. I mean, who has the number plate? Who can be as flash as that? I mean, that sums Shaka Hislop up. Shaka 1.
Oh,
He loves a giggle.
I had a vanity plate, I admit.
well, you've grown up.
Nothing else.
You've matured.
A vanity plate would kind of look odd in my Ford Fusion hybrid.
No, actually, you know what's happened? He's had 5 kids. That's what,
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not
that'll
wrong.
take the edge off it.
That will take the edge off.
Robbo always brings up that number plate.
Always.
In the car.
Every opportunity. For no reason. And none of it is true. Well, number plate's true.
Hang on, you just admitted it was true.
The other bit is true. None of the other bit.
And did you have a Maserati? Was it a soft-top Maserati? That's all I'm asking.
No, it was not.
Well, what was it?
It was a hard top.
Oh,
that's all right.
all right, Stevie, who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or first? Halland, Mbappe or Vinicius?
I'll tell you what, Man City won the Champions League this year. Halland's got to win it, hasn't he? Because if they win it, you know he's scoring more goals. So it's got to be Halland, isn't it?
All right. There's a few, I mean, you could look at it a few ways though, couldn't you? Vinny's had a standout season. If they go in to win it, then he stands out. Mbappe getting into the final of the World Cup.
It's not a very strong argument you're putting up here.
So Halland.
It's actually very weak.
I vote Mbappe.
You actually sound as though you don't believe what's coming out your mouth.
I was ready to move on.
I mean, really.
Right, will Patrick Vieira manage in the Premier League again? Possible candidate for the US men's national team?
That US men's national team job, goodness me.
I can't believe Pa's got rid of him, Shaq, to be honest.
Stop trying to wind me up. Stop trying to wind me up.
I mean,
it makes absolutely no sense to me. And I know the link with Roy Hodgson. Anyway, don't get me started on that either. But
yeah, there's a bit of a disagreement between Stewart, Robson and Shaka Hislop in the main show tonight.
Stu doesn't like what he hears from him.
Tell you what, by the way, I didn't know that though, Stu. I didn't know that. Not one shot on goal in the last 4 Premier League games. I mean, I didn't know that. If I knew that, I might be thinking differently.
And I think it's Shaka, if you spoke to most Crystal Palace fans at the moment and anybody involved in Crystal Palace, they said the club was only going one way, and that was down at the moment. They couldn't see where the next win was coming from. And he wasn't the sort of manager who wanted to change things and have a go at players. He wanted it all nice, free and easy. And the way they were going was only one way down.
But to that point, you look at the run of games. You've got Arsenal to come now, but then you've got teams lower down in the table. And of all the games that I listed that Palace have not won, and we spoke about them this kind of year, none of them, be it Man City, Manchester United, they've lost by more than a single goal. And so at least, whatever you make of it, Palace are in games till the end. And I reiterate, this is a Palace team that has not spent any money. The club have not backed Patrick Vieira, certainly financially. And then the expectation is to pull up trees as he did last season. I mean, if you're being judged on games against Man City and Man U and Liverpool and Newcastle, then yeah, sure, sack everybody.
Well, that's the way football's going at the moment. You know, I don't want to see any manager sacked, but the way things are happening, when a team starts to struggle and doesn't win for 12 games and they don't have a shot on target for 3 or 4 games, the manager, the chairman thinks, do I let this carry on and we might get relegated, or do I make a change and maybe get a reaction from the players? And that's what quite often happens. We talked about it earlier when Tuchel took over from totally the opposite way. Tuchel took over from Lampard. They went from being a poor side or an average side to winning the Champions League because there was a reaction. And I think that's exactly what the coach, the chairman has done. He's decided, I need a reaction from the players. I need a reaction from maybe the fans to say I'm willing to do something. And maybe it'll change our fortunes, because if I don't do anything, we could get relegated here.
But here's what will happen. Some usual name on the managerial roundabout will come in because it's safe, and Crystal Palace will just be doing this, will rinse and repeat again in next few months. I mean, if you're making that kind of a decision to move the club forward in some kind of significant way, then I say, all right, it's your money, it's your club, fair enough. But if all you're doing is rinse and repeat on some idiocy, well then that's on you, and I stand by my criticism.
Apparently, let's talk of Harry Redknapp coming back. Let's talk about Harry Redknapp coming back, and maybe you being the goalkeeping coach and you taking another big pay salary.
That makes perfect sense to me. That makes all the sense. There's a Maserati out there with my name on it, literally.
If you keep them up, they'll buy you one.
It's a possible candidate for US Men's national team now. Obviously, he has the experience he does in MLS. Yesterday, we didn't get to it. I know they're talking about in Football Americas. Thierry Henry's name has been linked with the US Men's national team job.
Why?
Why not?
What's he done, coaching-wise?
So you don't think he'd be a good fit there?
Well, what's he done coaching-wise? He's not done anything. He has no CV for him to take over the US Men's national team. No CV at all, other than what he did as a football player.
So you wouldn't be okay with the fact that he has had experience in the likes of Belgium, he's been at Montreal, he had experience at Monaco.
And what did he do? He hasn't done anything.
Bad experiences.
Listen, if I'm a supporter of any club and we're going to pick a manager, right? And they say, right, listen, we're not, forget the name on the back of the shirt. What do you want your manager coming in to have on his CV? And you're going to say success. We want somebody who's actually had success, who has proven that they know what they're doing, who's a proven leader, a guy who can take a team to success. And so why wouldn't we want them? Instead of, well, let's go and get the greatest player that ever kicked the ball, but coaching-wise has no CV. That can't be right. That shouldn't get you a big job. The USA is a big job. And you're going to give somebody that job who has no proper coaching experience, really, or success experience. That's what you want most of all. You want somebody coming in who has had success. Now, I'm not saying you have to have won the World Cup or anything like that, but some sort of success, something that shows that you can lead men somewhere near the top. Well, he doesn't have that at all.
Robbo, next question is for you. Go on.
Stevie's absolutely right. His spell at Monaco was an absolute disaster. He didn't last very long. At times, he was sending the team out and he'd go and sit on the bench during the half-time team talk. He wasn't, because he was upset and he didn't know how to handle the players. It was a disaster at Monaco, so he's got no CVs. Stevie's absolutely right.
So it's a big no from the panel here. Well, two of them. Robbo, for the plebs like myself and many others who can't really afford Premier League ticket prices, what's a good lower league derby game for a tourist spending a weekend in London?
Oh, a lower league derby. That's a good one. I'm trying to think what the lower league derbies are at the moment. Any visitor to London should always go and visit Millwall because you get a nice atmosphere there. You get a nice cup of tea during the half
Warm
time.
welcome.
You get a really warm welcome. It's a nice stadium. Go and meet all the other fans, the Millwall fans, and ask them how they're getting on.
Standing their way in.
Yeah, standing there with them.
Hey, hang on.
The home team serenades the away team.
Sergeant Barnes is a regular contributor with questions to Extra Time. There's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek with you saying he's going to get a warm welcome at Millwall. Maybe it could be another club that he would go and visit, OK?
Well,
I'm just protecting our viewers.
Does a Molotov cocktail come into the warm welcome region?
Shaka, a good team in London to go and see?
Charlton. Go see Charlton.
Against?
Anybody. I honestly can't remember.
Who's where?
Yeah, which London clubs
Look at the elite.
on the lower leagues? You've got Charlton, Millwall, Leyton Orient.
QPR.
QPR is a good.
But they're all in different leagues at the
place to
moment.
go.
QPR versus Millwall was on a couple of weeks ago, and my son went to that game, QPR Millwall, and said there was a lovely atmosphere inside the stadium.
Did
Very
he get
pleasant.
home all right?
No, I think he started all the problems. Don't worry about that.
QPR's got an easy ground to get to, though.
QPR, yeah. QPR's
yeah, there you go. Go see QPR play, whoever is playing that weekend. Shaka mentioned that day that he maxed 2 credit cards before 2008. Did he ever wonder what caused the 2008 financial crisis?
I maxed those credit cards in 1992, so I'm not sure you could blame the 2 credit cards for that. That was when I first went to England.
It was still before 2008. Maybe lots of interest accumulated. You can't blame
my 2 $1,000 credit limit credit cards.
All that interest on top, all those years.
To be fair, $1,000 in 2008 wasn't an awful lot in sterling, right?
In 92.
Yeah,
I think the exchange rate was about 1.8 at the time.
So $1,000
wasn't a lot.
Wouldn't have got you anything.
I got me some boots, that's about
Got
it.
some boots, and then he didn't pay his credit card that he maxed out for years and years and years.
I know that he bought. I saw his
yeah.
driving gloves, his leather driving gloves for his Maserati. They'd have been worth £1,000, just those. Oh my goodness gracious!
Did you have the flag on the back of them?
Yeah.
Stop encouraging.
With a little hole there and then the dots there.
Stop encouraging.
With a flag at the finish. Shaka's coming over the finish line.
Diamond encrusted.
Stop encouraging Stewie, please.
Did you have an assistant to peel a grape for you?
Next question, Sheila.
With only Real Madrid left in the quarter-finals of the Champions League, has Serie A or Liga Portugal surpassed La Liga in competitiveness? Stewart?
I would still say, well, La Liga is still really about only 3 teams, 2 teams this year. Atletico Madrid haven't quite been at their best and haven't been near the other 2. La Liga is still a good league. It's still competitive. We've still seen Sevilla over the years and Villarreal do well in the Europa League. Serie A hasn't had a great time for many, many years. This has been their best one for quite some while. So I wouldn't say that La Liga isn't as competitive as the others. It's just good to see Serie A for once doing well, and that's why they get 4 clubs in the tournament.
All right, that will do it for the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you so much for sending your questions in, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. See you then.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.